Hey, what's up everybody? It's Gwen and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a continuation of my last high porosity hair tips video, and I'm going to be talking about low porosity hair tips today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also be sure to turn on all your notifications and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at SoNaturallyGwen. All right, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. So just some background on my hair. So I am not low porosity. However, I have a lot of people that I know that are low porosity, and just in doing research about porosity in general, I found some practical tips that just make sense. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to first talk about porosity in general. So porosity has to do with the structure of your hair, and our hair strands are covered in a hair cuticle. So low porosity hair is when your hair cuticle opens and closes really easily and is naturally in a closed position. So what this can look like is your hair has a hard time accepting moisture, but once it's in, your hair has no trouble retaining the moisture. So those are some things that low porosity naturals have to deal with. And so yes, let's get into some of the tips. So tip number one is to spritz your hair with water and then cover it with a shower cap before moisturizing to open up your hair cuticle. Yeah, so one of my friends does this. He basically was like, yeah, I just leave it and then my hair is ready for the product. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So basically it's kind of like the greenhouse method where you're using some type of plastic or barrier. So you can use a plastic shower cap as well. And so the steam that is created from the water that's on your hair and then the heat from your head is going to help to open your hair cuticles. Okay, the next tip is to use heat when deep conditioning or cover your hair with a plastic bag. So when you deep condition, it's important to make sure that your hair is getting as much of the product as possible. And so yes, using heat in some way, so whether it be the steam from the shower and from your head or a hooded dryer, is going to help to make sure that you are getting as much from the hair product as you possibly can. Okay, tip number three is to try a hair steamer. So hair steaming is another option that you can do for low porosity hair, also to help bring moisture into your hair. So I know that some people do this with their deep conditioner. I have heard good things about steaming your hair. So the next tip is to heat up your styling products with a hot water bath before applying them. So when I saw this tip, I thought it was genius. You basically have to get some type of base, like a basin. I would probably use like a pot or something and just fill it up with hot water. You don't necessarily have to boil it or anything. And then you have like a bowl and you can put some of your leave-in conditioner in it and just kind of heat it up that way. And so the heat of the product can help to open your hair cuticle. I would not recommend microwaving your products because it could probably break down the structures of your hair. Break down the structures of your product. So you want to make sure nothing melts or anything. So I wouldn't recommend doing that, but that's something you can try. For your deep conditioner, you could heat up your deep conditioner as well. But yeah, for your styling products would be a good idea, especially if it's not wash day. So that is another tip that you can use. Okay, the next tip is to use lighter oils to prevent product buildup. So the way the hair cuticle is for low porosity hair is that the hair cuticle is closed and there are very small spaces in between each hair cuticle. And so if you use a product that's too heavy, like an oil that's too heavy, your hair is not going to like that because it's going to be just too much buildup. So I like to use castor oil because I have high porosity hair. But for low porosity hair, I recommend lighter oils like almond oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, and grapeseed oil, or other oils that are nice and light. If you like heavier oils and you have low porosity, then so be it. But just in theory, it makes sense that lighter oils would make better choices for low porosity hair. Okay, next is to use products that contain humectants to attract moisture. So humectants are ingredients that are very moisturizing and attract moisture to the hair. So some examples would include glycerin, honey, maple, aloe, slippery elm, marshmallow extract, marshmallow root. So those are the ones that I know of, but there's probably other ones out there. If you have the humectants, it's going to make sure that the moisture enters the hair really easily. So an example of a product that is really good for low porosity hair would be this one. So the first one is the Camille Rose Honey Hydrate Leave-In Conditioner. This is my second container of this. Knowing that I have high porosity hair, I had no use no reason using this, but this product is so moisturizing. Oh my gosh. So yes, that is a moisturizing product, and it's really good because it has honey in it, which is a very good humectant. And another one that you can use that isn't as heavy, because the Camille Rose one is a little bit thick. This one is the Mielle Pomegranate and Honey Leave-In Conditioner. So this is also a nice moisturizing product that I love. So yes, it is a very moisturizing product, and I think it's really versatile because it's not too heavy, so I feel like everybody can get the benefits from it. So I recommend that product as well. And then Mielle also makes another leave-in conditioner. It's the Hawaiian Ginger line, the blue one. That product, I haven't tried it before, but that's another line that she has that is really moisturizing and doesn't have any proteins in it. Next tip is to limit protein. So I preach protein moisture balance in hair. Like, I'm very passionate about protein moisture balance. So yeah, I'm not saying don't use any protein, but I would say limit the amount of protein that you use. So the way that you can get around this is to use protein less often. You can also use products that have protein lower in the ingredients list, and you can also use proteins that aren't as big. So the structure of proteins can vary. There are larger protein particles and smaller protein particles. I go through all of this in my protein moisture balance video. Next tip is to use the L.C.O method. L.C.O and LOC stand for liquid cream oil or liquid oil cream. You're supposed to apply water to your hair first, and your leave-in, and then in the case with low porosity, you would apply some type of cream, and then you would apply an oil. So you would use like some type of like hair butter or hair cream or something that's a little bit heavier, just to kind of seal the moisture in, and the oil on top of it to seal the moisture in. And so the difference between having the cream before the oil is going to make sure that all those moisturizing ingredients are right there next to the hair, forcing it to go into these small cuticles small spaces between the cuticles, and get your low porosity hair to absorb it and to stay moisturized. So an example of the L.C.O method that I was doing for a little bit, not for too long, I kind of switched this around too. This is the Mielle Pomegranate and Honey Leave-In Conditioner. And then the cream I was using is the Curl Theory Multi-Style Cream. This is from a Black-owned hair company that you can get from Target, just so you know. But yes, so something like that. Or I also have used the Camille Rose honey leave-in with this, because this is nice and like, let me show you it. It's super creamy. Like, the consistency is very like whipped. It's whipped very well. So this is good for any type of stiff product. So yeah, and then I would just put my oil on top, so castor oil. So that would be an example of some type of L.C.O combinations. So anything that is, you know, that your hair likes, and then use a bit of a heavier product right on top. You don't have to use a cream. Like, you can use your cream as your leave-in. It really just kind of depends on how coarse your hair is and your hair type. So I would definitely say that if you have a looser hair texture, like a 3B or something like that, like type 3 hair, then I would say use lighter products, or you might be able to skip a butter altogether. Whereas if you have type 4 hair, you might want to use something a little bit more moisturizing to really make sure that you are getting all of your hair moisturized properly. Next tip is to apply products before leaving the shower after washing your hair. So this tip is pretty popular amongst low porosity naturals. Like, I see this done a lot, where when they're done with the wash day, they just immediately go in with their leave-in conditioner and styling products. This is a good idea because your hair has been in the steam of your shower and your cuticle is already open. So before it closes when you get out of the shower, it's important to go ahead and apply your products. It can make sure that you are getting the moisture into your hair right away. And also, it's less of a process to have your hair cuticle close and then open back up again. So yeah. And then the last tip is to apply a shower cap or a plastic bag over your head before you apply your hair products. So this is an alternative to the last tip, which was, you know, applying your product in the shower. If you think it'll take too long and you would rather, you know, get dressed and everything and have your hair ready to go when you're ready, you can just apply a shower cap and have the moisture trapped into your hair, your cuticles open, and you're just, you know, hanging out. And then when you're ready, you can start to release strands and apply your hair products. All right, you guys, that is the end of this video. I really hope you found this helpful, even though I am not low porosity, but I hope these tips made sense. And yes, I hope you enjoyed them. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Also be sure to turn on all your notifications and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at SoNaturallyGwen. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.